I'm expecting that Mitch Moser will bring me takeout food for dinner tonight, and I did not receive a text from him that he would be outside with the food for me and I should come and get it. And that's true. He doesn't know that he's supposed to bring me takeout food every night. That way, that means he needs a house in Las Vegas and he needs to be paying for the takeout food every night. Because Jerry, Geri, the landlord, she doesn't do that for me, and we don't know why, but I have been living off of takeout food from Charles Toe, and I don't see Mitch picking up that Charles Toe's not doing that anymore for whatever reason. And I don't have any threats that Mitch would be elsewhere. Why wouldn't he bring me takeout food? And if he goes back to state of Wisconsin, how am I going to get the food? Well, I think it's due that he brings me the takeout food because what's in Wisconsin? That's where I'm from. He wants to go there and be in my house and I'm not allowed in there. Yes, but I already declared myself deceased. I am deceased looks like this. I'm still in the formed world, deceasing my leverage, more leverage than I had when I arrived, just before I knew Mitch. In my house. So I have more leverage now is why I need God to bring me takeout food, and I need Mitch to do that because it's good for himself. But he didn't come by today, and I don't want to ask him to because I did suggest that I would be waiting for him today, and he didn't tell me what time he was going to be here, and it's I think it's when the restaurants are closed now, so that he wouldn't come now. So I'm wondering what Brian Figus is going to do about that because Brian was with Mitch in a rental car yesterday. I don't know what your problems are in the Midwest that you need to go back there. I realize that you have friendly with other people that are there, but I'm the one that makes it possible for you to be alive, and you're due here for that. You need to have keys in Las Vegas, and if you don't, you need to make landlords aware that you're supposed to bring food to myself, and the landlords owe that they pay out keys to you. Why should I worry about the landlords paying out keys to myself with all of it that I put into myself, trying to accept keys from landlords, and you just don't want to pay the freight, that you have any kind of responsibility to pay out keys so that I get what I need. I know the landlord who won't bring me the food owes to pay out an apartment to Mitch, and he can pay out another apartment to Brian, and they can have that they know where each other is. But I don't see why I have to pay rent for that. I'm not getting any takeout food every day. I have frozen food now, which is supposed to be temporary. I can use frozen food, but it's not really a way to live. I need the takeout food from restaurant chefs to keep myself healthy and mentally stable, or I don't have much time to live. Are we trying to rush the creation of myself? Because I've been alive for 45 years of continuous alive of myself, and there's no rushing that myself is come here and is going to give myself deceased. Myself is the order above myself, but I am the highest order, of course. I'm waiting for the deceasement of myself that way. That means I did survive all the illegal action on the threatening, and myself deceased will be giving me deceasement out of the door locking and out of the formed world. So there's no rush on that order. That is the highest order that is best for me, but it might be a little bit intimidating for you because I'm very far along in the threatening. I didn't die of anything you did to me yet, and you're still not really sort of in tune with how that's against yourselves, that you shouldn't do that you have to pay everything of the charges for myself, or you have to explain that I don't owe the charges because it's not my money, it's your money. You have to tell them what the money is for, and if they don't want to hear it, that's true, that's your problem at the cash register. I don't have to worry about that. I don't actually owe the cash register any money because it's not my money from the bank in my name. That's not a disability. I am threatening you that you're not supposed to pay the cashiers, but you've been paying them for other people before I ever started paying a cashier myself. And now I'm consuming the other people pay the cashier for myself, and they pay it for that Donna, my mom figure, who paid the cashier a lot for me, the cashiers a lot for me, and so did my dad figure Hans. They both paid cashiers for me over many years, and then they stopped. And I needed somebody to take over, that they were doing that, and then they stopped. And they didn't leave my house so that somebody could come into my house and do that for me. And they're not supposed to do it from my house, and I'm not in it, and you don't know whose house it is that way. That you're paying cashier's attendance for myself, but you locked me out of my own house, and you don't know whose house it is that way. And you paid cashiers for yourself in reverse. And that's not true, that you can pay cashiers for my house and I'm going to die because I just walked out of my house. But you can walk into my house and you can stay in there if you want, and I can't stop you. That really is not the charge that you're paying the cashier. You're supposed to pay the cashier where I am. For me, for that you paid for me. You can't just say, well, you were there and you were trespassing in a house that we claimed as our own. My mom and dad, Hans and Donna, cannot say that about me. You paid the cashier already for me. You didn't tell the cashier, we don't want to give her anything. Well, then you have to make arrangements that I will be someplace else. Are you assuming that no one else is going to make it possible for me to get what I need from a cashier? That's you being a creator, and that's deceased already. You don't speak for the creation of yourself with your genitals. You're totally illegal that way. You don't have the charges to the cashier paid for. That you charge the cashier that I was living in your house. You charge the charges. And Mitch and Brian just did that to me. They stopped paying the cashiers that I need the restaurant food every day. And you can pay the restaurants every day because I'm almost done here. I can get fresh food from the restaurant every day. Well, I don't know you that way. I owe that I go out tonight with some of the cash they gave me and go to the Chick-fil-A and buy something to eat. But it's not walk-away money. I don't really feel that they could give me $70 of walk-away money and I'm not here anymore. I can just live off of $70 for the rest of my life. I am not a shunt. I have 45 years of alive of myself already. I don't afford $70 for the rest of my life that you think you can pay me off that way. You're not nice about how you're still in town and you didn't bring me food for today. You're not responsible. Well, what did you want me to say? I do eat the food. Well, I have frozen food in the freezer. How long are we going to live off of that? I would say I have lived since the middle of April on frozen food. Or May? Just say May? Okay, lived on from May onwards. May, June, and now I'm in July. Is this the second week of July? Approximately 2025. I have been eating frozen food, and I think that's too much. Frozen food, you're supposed to eat that in between other foods, but if you eat it. But what are you eating? I'm saying you, but I really mean me. Because your cashiers are deceased to yourself. You don't have the cashiers paid for me. I just described that the cashiers have been paid for me in a fraud on my address. So you don't actually pay the cashiers that I have an address. You frauded my address. So why are you paying the cashiers? Yes and no, yes and no. Selections. Yeah, that's not really what paying the cashier is for. You don't have that deceased.